This is Galen Morrison. Security level Omega. Password: Epsilon Cortana-35-1-4072. Enable new protocol. Title: Agamemno Contingency. Should any of the core members of Overwatch's Super Soldier Experiment 546 turn rogue, we need to have plans in place to handle each and every one of us should we become a threat. The members of Overwatch are my teammates, as are the other Legacy Power Rangers, but we need to be prepared for the worst. Always. Agamemno Contingency, file code name Red Sun. If my so-called younger brother, Andrew Morrison, the Red Legacy Ranger, ever becomes a threat to the planet, the following protocols will need to be enacted to ensure our survival. A red solar grenade would dull his power for a short time. A sample of gold kryptonite in Vault 7B, provided by Firestorm from Batman's new Justice League, will incapacitate him with brief exposure, and prolonged exposure would, in all probability, be fatal. In all likelihood, as he is made of a mixture of the DNAs of both Overwatch Commander Jack Morrison and Blackwatch Commander Gabriel Reyes, he could be considered a loose cannon and break protocol, in which case, one of the preceding protocols will need to be enacted. Some samples of green kryptonite have been given to us and can be found in Vault 7A, courtesy of the Dark Knight himself. Portions of this kryptonite, under exposure to radiation, created a variation of kryptonite that is red in color. Side effects of this kryptonite are unknown. Further testing is required. Agamemno Contingency, file code name Time Jumper. Christina Oxton, the Pink Legacy Ranger, was created from a sample of Lena Oxton's DNA. Because of this creation from said member's DNA sample, there is also the possibility of a condition known as chronal dissociation, which is why a time stabilizer has been plugged inside her heart, thus allowing her to control her own time. She is also the heart and soul of the Legacy Rangers, though still a rookie, which is just one reason it would be difficult to face her in combat should she turn against the Rangers or Overwatch. It's not a thought I relish. But if it must be done, one possibility could be a temporary cut of her time-warping ability. If quick enough, as shown from footage of Doomfist's defeat in Numbani, removing her time stabilizer would cause her to fade, maybe even disappear for hours at a time. Further investigation of different protocols is required. Agamemno Contingency, file code name Guardian Angel. Created from a sample of the DNA of Overwatch combat medic Angela Ziegler, healing abilities are an advantage given to the Yellow Legacy Ranger, Abigail Ziegler. She is a very good friend to several members of Overwatch and her fellow teammates. These powers to revive her teammates, should any of them be down, are inseparable to her except in the case of death, and her natural health regeneration can control damage dealt to her. Research suggests that a Discord orb or two, provided by Omnic Monk Zenyatta, could cut these powers so that health regeneration can be dulled should she or Mercy become a threat to the world. Further investigation necessary. Agamemno Contingency, file code name Spirit Dragon. The ability to summon the power of the dragons is perhaps the most powerful ability in the world, limited only by the imagination of the bearer. This power has been passed on for generations of Shimadas, and Blaze Shimada, the Omega Legacy Ranger, created in the future by Hanzo and Genji Shimada's DNA samples, is no exception. But in order to tap into this power, the core member needs to see what they are doing. While an attack on the eyes would be ill-advised due to the training of the Shimadas, see Table 38B for full offensive lists and their intended probabilities of success. Research indicates that post-hypnotic suggestion could be planted into the Shimada's psyche, causing them to believe themselves blind. The power of the dragons would then make them blind, enforced by their own willpower. Another theory suggests summoning the power of a spirit wolf, summoned by some Shimada archers, to counteract with the effects of the power of the dragons. Must test this theory out on Genji for confirmation. Agamemno Contingency, file codename Crusader. Jacob Wilhelm, the Green Legacy Ranger, is one unique individual. He has the heart of a lion and will fight for honor and glory, similar to Lieutenant Reinhardt with the Overwatch strike team. We're lucky that he is on our side, and that he's more concerned with being comic relief than anything else. But should he turn, a pulse bomb, if administered quickly enough, will disable his power temporarily. Another strategy that could be used would be EMP Protocol 6404.5 Apagado las luces, disabling any abilities that he has for a short amount of time. Further testing of this final theory is required. Agamemno Contingency, file codename Power of 6. Silver Lindholm, the Gold Legacy Ranger, is created from the DNA of Overwatch engineer Torbjörn Lindholm, Vishkar Corporation member Symmetra, and Blackwatch Commander Reyes. Every molecule of his body is under his command, and he can telekinetically defend himself from any oncoming attacks from head-on. Examples of these defenses can include his sudden repositioning ability. His strength and speed, thanks to the power of several 6th Rangers, make him a formidable opponent should he turn against us. His vulnerability to fire would be hard to exploit in a defensive position. However, research suggests that nanite virus spiked with magnesium could cause his skin to combust in contact with the air, neutralizing him as a threat. Must investigate further because of the power of 6. Agamemno Contingency, file codename Dinosaur Might. Shadow Reyes, created from samples of DNA from all 10 Dino Charge Rangers and a synthetic energem, is called the Dino Charge Talon Ranger, and is one worthy Ranger I have come across. Considered to be the world's first ultimate life form, he follows his orders to the letter and hardly breaks into a smile. I have learned not to take it personally, because he was created that way. Several different abilities are available to him, and he could be an unstoppable force should he turn against us. Some basic countermeasures require further research. His speed. Paralysis. His Talon Prism Slash. Immobilize his right arm. Summoning his Talon Dino Spike. Trachea Trauma. A well-timed blow would easily do the trick. His time manipulation. EMP Protocol 6404.5 Apagado las luces. Summoning his Zord. Phantom Zone. Lack of raw materials should nullify this power. His ability to fly. Aerophobia. Investigate modification of Scarecrow's fear toxin with Overwatch scientist May. His Terror Scream. Tear gas, if administered quickly enough, should cut off his ability to speak and scream. Alternatively, I have recordings of the Terror Scream provided to me by Yellow Dino Thunder Ranger Kira Ford, which, if played back at equal intensity, can cancel out the sound waves. If these contingency plans are discovered in the wake of my being incapacitated, please understand, this had to be done for each of us. Which brings us to Agamemno Contingency, file codename Detective. While Galen Morrison, the Blue Legacy Ranger, created solely from the DNA of Commander Jack Morrison, is a master strategist and combatant, he, like the other members of this experiment, is only human. The best way to disable his strategic abilities would be to distract him. Overwatch is an excellent blind spot, as is his endless crusade to protect the innocent. Taking hostages is a good distraction, particularly if they are friends or family. Even members of Overwatch, former or current, are also great distractions if they are either hostages or they are sent out to stop him should he turn against the Rangers and or Overwatch. Think very carefully before you do this.